Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and it's time for the Meta Report. This is where we analyze the data that came from last weekend in Trials of Osiris, and we talk about the most powerful weapons that are inside Destiny 2, so that way this will enlighten you a little bit and maybe help you get flawless this next week in Trials as this video comes out. So, last week was Midtown. This was a large map, especially for a 3 vs 3, maybe a little larger than designed. Obviously, it was originally designed for 4v4. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Did you think that Midtown was too big for elimination? And did it allow for a little bit too much 3-peeking? That's my opinion, is that because it's such a big map, there was a lot more 3-peeking. And the data supports that it was definitely used as a long-range map. The #1 used weapon was Revoker. Of course, this weapon has such a powerful perk, the Reversal of Fortune perk, so that if you miss a shot is given back to you. When I'm sniping, I'm using the sniper because if I don't use it, I'm at such a disadvantage versus those that do, and it has snapshot as well, so it's a really good sniper all in all. This weapon will be going away with sunsetting, but for now and for the rest of Trials, it will definitely be strong until Season 11 and beyond. The next most powerful weapon used was the Summoner. No surprise here, this is the strongest energy auto rifle in the game. This weapon is extremely powerful. I personally think that the Galliard is better. The Galliard has better sights, and instead of rolling Rampage, it can roll Kill Clip. So personally, if I could choose between the Summoner and the Galliard, I would choose the Galliard, but the Galliard is harder to get. The drop rate is very low. You have to get it from Forges, and the Summoner is right there. It's in Trials, and it just looks really cool because it's got the big Trials eye on it. So the Summoner is the second most popular weapon, but I personally think that the Galliard is much better, and you'll see me using it constantly in YouTube videos and when I live stream. The third most popular weapon was the Mindbender's Ambition. Now this weapon is going to slowly fall down the ranks because Felwinter's Lie is out now. It's in the exact same slot. It has similar perks. In fact, it has better perks, and it will be a better weapon used inside Crucible, and you will see the Mindbender's Ambition slowly slip down. I'm almost certain that the Felwinter's Lie will hit the top 10 next week, and we'll see what weapons get pushed out because of the Felwinter's Lie. The Mindbenders will still be in there, though, because it's been used for so long. But maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road, we will see a decline in Mindbender's Ambition, especially with sunsetting, because that gun's going to go for sure. And then, of course, the Felwinter's Lie is going to replace it entirely because it's just as good, if not better. From everything I've tested, and I've uploaded a few videos about that now. The fourth most used weapon is the Sur's Regime. Now this is my favorite auto rifle, has been for a long time, because it was the first exotic that I got in Destiny 1, okay? So you can't judge me for this, right? It was my baby. It was the first exotic I ever got. I have always loved this weapon because of that, and I got it years and years ago in Destiny 1, not in Destiny 2. In Destiny 1, the first exotic I ever got, so happy to see the Suros up there. I kind of like the weapon. It can get a little bit spammy, especially if people want to pre-fire, but it is a really strong weapon, and not surprised that it's in top #4 spot. The fifth most used weapon is Beloved. No surprises here. Again, we've got a big map, and Beloved has a much better handling and faster ADS time than Revoker, so if you want to outshoot or outsnipe Revoker snipers, the Beloved is a good option. So no surprises here. We always see when the Revoker is high up on the list, the Beloved follows, so that will be the case for a while now. But of course, with sunsetting, we'll see Beloved get replaced by something. Who knows what sniper is going to come out? And Bungie even mentioned that there might be a very low zoom scope sniper soon, so we'll see. In the 6th place spot, we have Bastion, the super strong weapon, the new Lord of Wolves, as I call it, but obviously not as powerful. But the new Lord of Wolves, extremely strong, blows through walls, destroys supers, such a strong weapon. If you haven't used the Bastion, give it a try. It's kind of a fun, it's a strong meta weapon, but it's a little like off meta, I'd say, because not a lot of people run it. At least not on PC, maybe a little more on console. Let me know in the comments if you see it a lot more on console. On PC, I don't really see it that often, but it is really strong, and definitely worth giving a try if you haven't tried it yet. The #7 spot is going to go to the Astral Horizon. This is that kinetic slot shotgun that comes from Trials. Very strong. Obviously, you got your quick draw opening shot rolls. Those are going to be the ones primarily used. Such a strong weapon. If you're using this, it obviously goes really well with the Summoner or any energy auto rifle, like for example the 8th slot, which is Hard Light. Still is in the list even after getting nerfed. It has definitely dropped down in the list, but it's not completely gone. It's still an extremely strong auto rifle. It's the right archetype. The 600 RPM auto rifles are the go-to right now. That might change. They mentioned that in the TWAB today as I'm making this video. That might change in the future, so we'll see. But as for now, the 600 RPMs are the god tier RPM, and Suros and Hardlight are both in that category, so no surprise. And the Summoner, so no surprises there that those three are in the top 10. The #9 spot is the Spare Ration, still hanging in there by a little thread. The hand cannons, And the hand cannon meta hasn't quite died off completely yet. There are a ton of hand cannon users. I myself liked using hand cannons a ton. I only swapped over to using auto rifles just because I had like 10,000 plus kills on like a few different spare rations. So I was like, I've got thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of kills now with a hand cannon. So I think I'm going to try out a few different auto rifles. And then in doing so, I ended up falling in love with my beloved Galliard. So that's why I'm using that. And the number 10 spot, which I can't even begin to understand, and I'm going to need to try this weapon out, is the Drang Baroque. What is this doing in the top 10? Can someone explain to me? Because I am very confused. There must be some sort of weapon roll or weapon perk combination that made this weapon a lot stronger, or this must actually be a really, really strong weapon, and I just don't even know it yet. So I'm going to start trying out the Drang Baroque because, wow, I did not actually ever expect a sidearm to make it into the top 10, especially on such a big map, Midtown, but here you have it. The Sidearm Drang Baroque has made it in there, and I'm going to give this weapon a try now because of that. The last thing that I want to mention is the player base decline. We were at about 200,000 the last video I made, which was 3 weeks ago, and we are now sitting at 146,000 players. That is a big drop in Trials. Trials is definitely on the decline. It's going down. I'm not trying to, shit on Trials any more than it's already been shit on. We've already talked about it plenty, the problems of Trials, and Bungie has talked about it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Season 11 will be much better. It would be really sad. We've got 3 weeks of Trials left. It would be really sad to see if Trials actually did dip below 100k players, that is, before the next season, because that would just mean that Trials was truly a failure its first season, because 100k or less players is such a low amount of players, and that's where you end up getting all those network problems where you end up matching people from across the world because of the card-based matchmaking instead of connection-based. It's just, everything just gets so bad when the player base gets lower. So hopefully next week's map is a good map, a popular map, and we end up seeing the player base boost up a little bit, but the chances are probably pretty slim considering that nothing has really changed in this past week, and we're just going to see a lot more Fellwinter's Lab, but maybe that will pull some people back in. Maybe we'll see 200k plus this week. Let me know what your thoughts are on this video, though. I really appreciate you watching. I can't wait to play Trials this weekend. I'll be live streaming it all week. Make sure you come watch the live stream, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.